Hey guys, what's cracking? Really wasn't expecting to come back to you guys tonight, but yeah, X Flare, X Flare, X Flare. That's why we're here. Got a another CME coming at us, directly at us, and this is why we keep you guys updated, because this is yeah, it's coming from that same Sunspot that gave us the um, historic G5 storm from last time, right? So yeah, if you guys could, please share this out. I really do appreciate it. And this really will be a very quick one. I'm going to just show you the rundown of what's happening. And I waited for a few minutes here because I wanted to get the data in to really see what was actually, you know, going on, I guess, at that level. So, and by the way, guys, thank you guys for all the memberships and the gifted memberships, super chats and stuff. You guys have been more than generous to, yeah, for what you guys do. I really do appreciate everything. My family appreciates it. My wife always says thank you. So, also, cards will be going out on Monday. I'm going to give one more day for people to send me their email. But most of you guys already did, so I will be sending all those out on Monday, and we'll get those out to you. So, all right, guys. So, again, Big X Flare. What we're gonna do is show you this real quick, and this was a long duration one, okay? And it was almost two. It was very similar to the one I showed you guys earlier. Now, remember, guys, this is the same sunspot. I have to keep saying that. That did cause this the historic storm last time, okay? That nobody really thought was going to get as big as it did. But what I'll say with this, yeah, these two flares did not produce much of CME action at all. Okay, if they had, this would be lining up to be something very, very similar to what did happen last time. Okay, but as you can tell that this flare here was going to produce a CME just because of the longevity of it. I mean, you got 3 to 6 hours here from start of flare till it kind of calmed down a little bit, and then it flared again. Okay, had another surge, and then back down. Okay, as of right now, we're not having any flare hit us. The X-ray is already here. It's already hit. Okay, but the CME is coming right at us. I mean, it's no doubt it's going to hit. Coronagraphs are confirming it. So I really don't even... this model here is not going to be updated yet. Well, thank you, Genius. I really appreciate that. 5 gifted memberships. Who got them? Linda, Surgery 68, Angie K, K-Heads, and Curb Creeper. Well, thank you. Thank you. Hey, there's Mr. J. Poss, guys. He is the newest person with some blue paint in his hand. I think he's kind of itching to put it on some troll's forehead. I don't know. Just kidding. But yeah, so welcome J-Poss to the mod crew, guys, if you would. But Genius, thank you so much for that. Your continued support, you know, is just awesome. It really does. It matters to me, okay? It matters to my family, and it's making a very positive effect on my whole family and my life right now. So thank you. All right, so again, guys, look. 1, 2, 3 flares. They're almost spaced out very, I don't know. I don't want to say symmetric because that's really not the right word. Very timely as far as the amount between flares. Especially if you look at this secondary eruption here, right? So, right now, and I'm going to mention this just real quick. Our geomagnetic activity, guys, is very, very low at the moment. This could play good or this could play bad for when this thing hits. And let me explain. If our geomagnetic activity is low at the time of this impact, it probably will cause it to be a little stronger. And the reason why is because if we don't have some of that stuff hanging around, if we're really, really low on that, it will most definitely hit harder. It does every time. Also, we need some geomagnetic activity to kind of deflect cosmic rays. Now, we talk about a lot of that stuff during solar minimum. So I'll just say that, and we'll move on from that. But we did get a G1 storm on the 31st. Okay? Basically yesterday. It's not the 2nd yet. At least not here in the States. Almost, but not yet. But again, guys, when we look at this X-flare and we see this long duration really does matter. Now, at first, it was a very impulsive, strong blast. Okay? You see it go straight up, and then it started to come right back down. When I looked at this, I thought this was just going to be like this one. And then it surged again, and it stayed. So, yeah. And this is why, again, we just continually watch this stuff over and over and over and over again. But I do expect, and what we're going to do, we'll just go over here to ISWA. And this is SDO. As a matter of fact, just let me do this real quick for you. Okay, we'll go over here. I'll show you where this satellite's at real quick, all right? Because you guys need to have that understanding to know what I'm talking about here. Okay, this is the satellite we're going to be looking from. It's in what's called geosynchronistic orbit. It stays over the same part of our planet at all times. But it rotates itself so its eye stays on the sun at all times. Okay? And we're looking at extreme ultraviolet. So what you're looking at here is this figure 8 pattern. It never leaves this part. It orbits Earth at the same time as we rotate around our axis, the same speed. So it's going at 15 degrees an hour. And yes, when we're talking about speed like that, we have to use degree. Because if you're at the equator and you move 15 degrees, it's going to be different of the actual speed you're moving if you're standing close to the North Pole. Okay? So the actual physical speed is different. We need to understand it by degree. And that's why this stays here. Okay? So, with that being said, I just want to make sure you guys knew where that satellite was at. And I know I explained that a lot, but I think it's important, okay? People need to understand the perspective, because for perspective, just like Obi-Wan Kenobi said, everything looks different, and it's true from a certain perspective. That's what he told Mr. Luke Skywalker. Remember, guys? In that, if anybody's a Star Wars geek like me, yeah, when Luke first met Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan told him his dad was killed by Darth Vader. Yeah, I think I'd have been mad about that too. Anyway, so 171. This is extreme ultraviolet, right? And this is a part of light spectrum our eyes cannot see. And with that being said, yeah. So we look at specific gases with specific angstroms of light. Our eyes see very, very little of the light spectrum. Okay? So when we're looking at this, the sunspot's here. And we're not going to spend a whole lot of time looking at these particular images, because it's just not, it's not necessary, is what I'm trying to say. We know what's going on this time. There's really no question of what's happening. So let me just pause it here. Or pause the movie frame part of it. And I'm going to zoom in, and we're going to look at the 94 angstrom. It really does show things rather well when we're talking about flares and CMEs all at the same time. And we will we'll take a look at the 131 also right there. So anyway, let me let's just grab that real quick. And so watch this right here, because this is where it happens. I'm going to back it up first. All right, so you see the date. Now remember, we had 2 other X flares already hit. And yes, we went into R3 radio blackout storms for a good amount of time. And I'll show you that here in a minute. All right, so if you watch the time down there, you see that initial blast, right? Right there. That's the initial X flare. And then watch what happens. You see a little surge right in there, and then it just hangs on. And then it actually disrupted all the way up here. That just happened. Okay, this is another sunspot. It disturbed. This happened. This is not showing up on Siege yet. Okay, on Soho. So I can't confirm if that actually produced a decent CME. So we could be looking at another CME. Talking about two like back to back. Right? So there's the initial, and then there's just, okay, right there. And then that one kind of slows down, and then you see it really quickly erupt again right here. That's why all these X-rays are just blasting out everywhere. Okay? Now, and then you see this area in between these two sunspots get destabilized, and it just, that flare, it flared, and it did look like it produced a CME. Now, if it did, that's coming, that's going to come at us also. It's in the Earth strike zone. This imaginary box right here in the middle of the sun. Anything that passes through there, that area, and erupts, it's going to come at Earth. Okay? Most likely. Very seldom does it miss when it's in that particular spot. Every once in a while, we'll get one that'll go south or north of us that's in that area. But most of the time, it's almost a guarantee that it's going to hit if it erupts in that area. So, okay. Now, let's take a look at it here on the 131. Okay, and we're going to be able to see a few different things here. And I do think, just by judging by this initial look, that second eruption up here, it does look like it could have produced another CME. Okay, so let me back it up and we'll look at the X-flare first. And this is going to show us a little bit better. Again, this is the 131 angstrom. They could have made this any color. And this is from SDO. Okay, I just showed you guys where that satellite's at. So there's the initial bam. And then you get the secondary eruption, and there was a CME with that. But now watch up here. See that? Okay. And so I can't say for certain, but yeah, we're going to wait on some more coronagraph imaging to come in about that one. But if you guys remember, I talked about this. I said the only difference that we're seeing right now between what the sun looked like last time when this sunspot was blowing up was these other sunspots that were there. Okay, so let's take a look at that real quick, and which is right here. And I specifically mentioned this because I thought it was going to come into play, and it is. So, and the reason is, I told you guys earlier, these are actually in the Earth strike zone. You don't have to have a massive sunspot to get a massive eruption. You don't have to have a sunspot at all. You can have just a filament release. Okay? You can have just a CME blast off without a flare. It happens, guys. There's a difference between a flare and a CME. So that's what I'll say. But yeah. Now, also, guys, before I move on, guys, give me a roll call in there if you would in the chat. I'd like to see what region you guys are from. And I want to run down the chat rules real quick. There are only 2 or 3 of them. Can't cuss, can't be vulgar, okay? You cannot attack somebody else in the chat. I don't care what it is, it's not allowed. And you cannot speak negatively about any other channel, okay? Even if you think I hate them. I might love what you said. I might hate what you said. But we're not going to do that because it brings drama. All right? And to be honest with you, I just don't think it helps. And they're not, the people that you're like attacking, other channels or whatever, they're not here to defend themselves. So I just don't think it's the proper place to do that. But anyway, I just want to make sure that everybody understands that chat rule. No, that's the only 3 I got. You're welcome to have whatever opinion. You could tell me that, you know, I smell like a sewer system and whatever else. I don't care what you say. That's fine as long as you know, attack me all day long as it's not vulgar or anything like that. I'll sit here and take it. I do it all the time. So anyway, I just want to make sure everybody was aware of those rules, because I don't think I say them enough like I used to, and sometimes I think people forget about it, and they just or they think that I don't like somebody and they think they're taking up for me, that kind of thing. And I do appreciate that, because a lot of times you guys handle that stuff and I don't have to say nothing. But I won't say nothing anyway. I never do. It just doesn't really help me or the conversation we're having. So, okay, so let's take a look at this eruption here. Okay, now we can't really tell exactly how strong this is yet, and let me explain, because this is Soho, right? This is the other satellite. Here's Earth. This satellite sits right out in front of Earth, and it stays in front of us, again, from our perspective. It's just about 1,000,000 miles closer to the sun. What that does is it gives us about an hour, close to an hour, depending on how things are moving, how fast they are, warning of what's going to hit us. Soho will feel it before we do. So we're able to get those kinds of readings, and if there was something going on, I'm probably not going to be able to get out here quick enough for you, but the bigger agencies that actually have instantaneous real data from this will know. Now, are we going to hear any of that? Probably not. It's just going to happen too quick. So, but anyway, this is an occulter disk. Okay, it's a physical disk on the satellite. Let me just run this through till this starts to erupt. Now, we can't see what's behind it, right? So we talk about what's called a halo eruption, halo signature, and it's nothing more because this looks like a halo. That's it. There's no science behind calling it a halo, nothing like that. It just visually looks like a halo. And again, remember, this is a physical disk on the imager. So what that means is we can't see behind it, so we don't know exactly what is there from this perspective. And when we see these halo eruptions, we need to understand that it could actually be going off the backside. So we need to have that understanding when we're looking at these, okay? Now, when we see this blast off like this, immediately we're going to go look, because this is significant, right? But as you can see, this tracker is fanning this out this direction. You can see where the most intense parts are just by that. But as this erupts again, I started to notice a few things. Okay, you got your initial eruption there, right? And then you see that. It's almost like, and let me say this because this matters. It's almost like when that erupted, it did send a CME off almost immediately, okay? And then, as the flare continued to flare, it had another blast. All right, so why does that matter? Well, what that ends up being is basically a cannibal CME. And I can kind of show you guys that here. See it? That would be about the time frame. So, you know, I can't say for sure that that's what's happened, but it sure as heck looks like it. We're going to have to wait on, on this model, this one here, to update. Okay? Because we'll be able to see it there. This is the end little spiral. This is stuff that's already happened. We're past this. And we did get a small geomagnetic storm. It just wasn't very strong. Okay? And again, right now, space weather conditions are pretty stable. So I'll just say that. It's pretty nominal, actually. But as we're looking at this, it is coming directly at us, guys. And it does look like there was maybe even a third little eruption right there. That could be, well, let me check the time on that. I want to see when that other small sunspot flared, because that could be from that. You never know. Let's see here. Let's check it out. You guys are getting to see me do this right there. So that would be on the second. So no, that ain't it. Because this is the first. Okay, yes, it's at the end of the day, but we wouldn't see it that quick. Okay, so let's go back over here to ISWA. And I do want to show you guys there is a different, well, let's take a look at this one. Hey, Seventh, good to see you, Steve. Guys, if you guys don't know who Steve is, Seventh's son, he leaves us a dad joke underneath almost every video. Every once in a while he'll forget, or I'll forget to pin it. But that's one way we try to keep things positive here. You know, we talk about so much negative stuff. I want to, you know, add some positivity back to it, and that's what we're doing with that. So come back and check the comment section after each video. Leave me a small comment underneath there if you would. That would really be appreciated, because it will help. But anyway, and you'll get a laugh out of it. So thank you, Steve, for doing that, by the way. I don't say that enough. Thank you, brother. I really do appreciate you. But anyway, so we got this eruption here, and I don't know if this... Okay, yeah, it goes out all the way. So, right about there is that X-flare. And as you... right there is that eruption. Okay, right in there. I know it's not that easy to see, but the sun's the background, that's why. If space was the background, blackness of space, we would see it really well. We see eruptions on the limb way better than we see it here. We get a camouflage effect, okay? So boom, boom, boom. Now, this is also showing that other eruption here. Okay, so that was a significant one also, but I'm not sure if the plasma left the sun or not. So we got to wait on that, okay? But yeah. Now, there's one more model I'm going to show you here, and I think that it's one of the newer models. It's called the Zeus model, believe it or not. And you can look at two different things here when looking at this. You can choose what triggers the model. You can choose CME or flare. So we're going to click the flare box here. And there you go. That's 519. Why is that? Why is that only showing? Wow. Okay. I don't know why that's doing that. Huh. I guess they could be having issues with the model. But you see the date here? So let's just change that to CME. There was that one big X-flare the other day. let's change it to CME and see if we get anything different here. But while that's loading, well, it's almost loaded. We'll look at it here. Here we go, here we go, here we go. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to pause it. And it does kind of give us an idea, but not a perfect idea. Again, this is only showing to the 19th. So this isn't doing anything for us. Okay. So let's, I got one more model here that I can try to look at and see if it's updated yet. I'm trying to get you as much real time as I can here. And this isn't updated either. This is NASA's version of this model. Okay. So we don't have any updated modeling on the CME itself from the X-flare, but I can tell you confidently that this thing is coming at us. It's going to hit. It's going to cause intense Aurora probably. I can't say for sure how big or whatever, but I will say this, okay? This doesn't appear to be moving all that fast. And what that means is that when it does hit, it's going to take a couple days to get here, number one. Number two, if it's moving that slow, it won't have the big power punch, right? But what could change that... Hey, Kay, thank you for being a member. Blessings and love, family. Heck yeah, I love that, guys. Guys, get down in there. If you guys are members, please do what Kay just did. You guys get a free super chat every month. So please do that. That's an awesome thing. It really is. You guys can... It's not a full super chat because it gives you a limited amount of characters to use. but it is significant. Okay, if you could just do that, and you know, why not use it, right? So if you got a question for me, or you just want to say something to the whole Kool-Aid crew, please do there. It's a good way to do that. That highlights it for you. Hey, Stephanie, Miss Dragon. Hey, I ain't seen Miss V in a minute. Hey, Full of Hope, good to see you. Kay, see here, think. Hey. J Poss. Yeah, I haven't seen Miss V. I haven't seen Leisure either. Has anybody seen those two? If they have, let me know. I just want to check on them. It's okay that they're not here. I get a little worried about my Kool-Aid Krews from time to time. If you guys know anything about that, but yeah. So let's go on here. Thank you, Stephanie. Appreciate you. All right, guys. Let's move here. Okay, so what do we got? We got this big old CME, guys. I mean, so what do we do, right? I don't know. We can't do nothing, right? So we just got to be aware. And if anything does hit us, we're going to see it. So, and I'll be here to show you. All right, guys? Okay, guys. I do appreciate you. That's all I got for right now, guys. I just wanted to give you an update. Thank you, Kay. I appreciate you. So cool. Awesome, awesome stuff. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Awesome stuff. All right. So, let's do this, guys. We are going to go ahead and pop off. I don't want to waste your guys' time. But thank you, Kay, for that. And thank you, Genius, and everybody else. Thank you, everybody that helps out, guys. I really do appreciate it. So, I do love you. Love all you guys. And I just want to, I want us just to have a good family here. And that's just what I'm trying to do. And I hope everybody can see that. And so, anyway, guys, God bless. Anything else happens, I will be here. Yahusha saves. And, yeah, you can drink this Kool-Aid.